So any good facilitator knows that there is some prep work to do before every meeting. One of the basic things that you should be doing as a facilitator is creating an agenda. Now, there is a resource in our Notion page that goes through this in more detail. So this is going to be more of an overview or a general agenda creation. And the things that you want to do before you create an agenda is to identify the objectives of the meeting. Every meeting has a purpose or a reason why people are getting together, and you need to identify exactly what it is that the group wants to get out of this meeting so that you can make sure that you allot enough time for each of the tasks that are needed to get there. Now, if you are an outside person who is facilitating, you likely do not have all the information needed to develop the agenda. So it's really critical that you ask for input from the team members to make sure that you are discussing each and every topic that is of importance to them. This could even be the case if you are a team member yourself. It's always good to make sure that you're checking in with other team members to make sure that you're not missing anything and that you're addressing everything that needs to be addressed in the meeting agenda. Once you have these tasks identified, you can plan the timeline of the meeting. And this is really important because you want to make sure that when you're creating your agenda, you use the time allotted for the meeting to its fullest. You want to make sure that everything gets addressed, but you also don't want to overstuff your agenda and end up running out of time to address everything that needs to be done. Meetings always have a certain start and end time, and people's time are valuable. So it's really important to think about what can be done outside of the meeting to ensure that only the stuff that needs to be done when people are together and working synchronously is addressed during the meeting. This can save a lot of time and prevent frustration or stalling or not getting through everything that needs to be done. So it's important to also include prep work for team members. What do they need to know before they enter the meeting? Do they have to have any background information? Do they have to do anything beforehand to make sure that when they show up, they are showing up fully present and able to engage in the meeting? And then finally, you also want to include logistics like location or the meeting link if you're meeting virtually, the time that it starts and ends, or in the duration of the meeting so that people make sure that they can arrive on time and stay for the entire meeting, and any other logistics that are needed to make sure that people are able to get there and be fully present. Now, typically when you're sending out an agenda, you would like to send it out at least 24 hours in advance so that everyone has time to review it and they can go into the meeting knowing what to expect. However, you might want to send it out with more advanced notice if there is a lot of prep work that you're sending out for the first time or that you want to make sure people are able to get through. And depending on your typical attendance to meetings, you may want to send out a day of reminder for people to attend. So this can be particularly helpful if you're working with volunteers or community members that have a lot of conflicting priorities. This is just a good thing to remind them of to make it more likely that they will attend. And here is an example agenda that I sent out to our Copper Corridor CoLab. As you can see, I bolded the date and time so that I made that really clear and easy to find. I also included the Zoom link for the meeting. I gave a general overview and the objectives of the meeting. I listed all of the different topics that we would be discussing during the meeting, and I even included some times, some durations for each topic so that I know that we have enough time to address everything on this list, but also to let the attendees know and the participants know roughly how much time they can expect to speak on certain topics. This can make it a lot easier to ensure that you're moving from topic to topic because everybody knows that roughly how much time was allotted for it and when they need to move on to the next topic to ensure we cover the whole agenda. And then finally, I made it really clear and bolded the instruction to download the attachment to this email and fill it out before our meeting next week.